Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I wanted to talk about the January 10th um, Des Moines, Iowa Republican debate, January 10th, 2024, Republican debate. It was Nikki Haley against Ron DeSantis, and I want to share my thoughts on the debate. I watched it. I took notes like I normally do, but I do want to just give you guys a warning. I am incredibly sad, and you know, I feel very defeated. Like I truly believed Vivek Ramaswamy could do what Andrew Yang tried to do, really had the momentum to take it all the way. I had no idea that the RNC and CNN would just be able to sweep every person of color candidate off the board immediately and say, your choices are, um, Biden or Trump, which is hospice leadership, or Ward Cleaver or June Cleaver. Just so abominable and terrifying that it was so easy for them to just remove a powerful person of color candidate. It was shocking. So I just kind of wanted to give a warning. Like, I really try to bring the thunder for you guys. And right now, I feel like a deflated rain cloud. Um, but you fall off the horse, you get back on the horse. So I want to give my political discussion about the two candidates we saw tonight. And I'm going to say too, one of the reasons why is that I'm watching the debate is I don't know who I'm going to vote for now, right? Because um, I I really don't want to vote for Ron DeSantis or for Nikki Haley. Neither one of them is a great American. They're both Americans, but neither one of them is a great American. I don't think there's the person who there are I would say my garbage man is I think I'd rather do a write-in, like as far as a great American, the person who comes by every week and faithfully, gets rid of the refuse of my family. I have higher respect for than Nikki Haley or Ron DeSantis because he's a hard worker and is honest and smiles. Smile. Ron DeSantis can't smile. My garbage man can smile. Right? Like, genuine smile at a job that is hard. Right? And Ron DeSantis has a million reasons to smile, and can't. Literally can't zip his human suit all the way up, as Sagar and Jetty brilliantly said. Um, and Nikki Haley just all night long just saying, DeSantis lies. Go to DeSantisLies.com, and it just felt so foul and icky and so political. And these are two political machines. Like these, I don't know if there's a heart beating between the two of them, and it was just abominably awful. But there's a good chance. I don't want to say a good chance. There's a chance. I would say it's between 1% and 5% that I'm going to end up voting for one of these two. And why on earth would I vote for these abominable humans, these abominable Americans? And that's a great point. Vivek Ramaswamy was a great American. Nikki Haley, an abominable American. Ron DeSantis, an abominable American. Just the worst. There are worse among the worst. I have no respect for these two, but I may end up voting for one of them. Why? Why would I possibly even consider that? Because I don't want hospice leadership. I want a president who can speak a full sentence. Nikki Haley can speak a full sentence. Ron DeSantis can speak a full sentence. I want a president who, when I wake up in the morning, I'm very confident that my president is alive. There's absolutely no reason anyone should believe that an 80-year-old president is going to wake up alive. The pressure is too high. We literally watched um, Bernie Sanders have a heart attack just trying to run for president. The idea that an 80-year-old president, it is an experiment that is abominably dangerous for America. And I don't want hospice leadership. I don't want a leader. I don't want to sit. I kept saying a sit and sign president. I don't want to sit and lay president. Sit and sign. Yeah, I don't want a hospice leader. I don't. I don't want an 80-year-old president. I don't want to. I don't want to worry every single day that my president tripped over a microphone wire and broke half the bones in his body, or that you know that he can't even get a single coherent sentence in a day. I don't want it, right? So I may end up voting for one of these people. So I paid attention, and I'm going to tell you my political analysis of what happened in the debate. Um, so first of all, there's been a huge amount of talk, and I think it's very legitimate talk. Is Nikki Haley a flat out liberal, right? And it's a good test, and I was curious if that's correct. So I'm going to tell you some things that Nikki Haley said that surprised me. I'm going to try to tell you, yeah, let's talk about some things in the debate that surprised me. So, um, Nikki Haley clarified what she felt on the difference between a man and a woman. And she said that she felt there was a difference between a man and a woman. I did not know Nikki Haley felt that way. I was not aware that she would be. I definitely thought that she would say, would give the standard answer, kind of the Hollywood answer, right? So I was really shocked to hear her say that she felt there was a difference between a man and a woman. That very much shocked me, right? Um, and I'm not stating my opinion on that because there's no need for me. Nobody asked, right? And but it very much surprised me that she would say that in that she would say that based on her overall structure, right? The other thing that really surprised me was that she said kind of pretty flat out that she felt Iran was doing things that were pretty abominable. And again, I'm not making any statement on that nation. It just simply surprised me that she called out Iran as a clear enemy to America's allies. That was very surprising. I didn't think, being in from the United Nations and all, I didn't think she would do that, and that was very surprising. The other thing she said that really shocked me in the not a liberal cue, right, for her trying to prove that she wasn't a liberal, but she gets a lot of flack from being a United Nations because that is a badge of dishonor among Republicans, right? We're Republicans. We I do actually I think America First was a Republican value way before Trump ever said it. He was just kind of echoing, right? And and so but she did say something that really shocked me. She said what she learned when she was in the United Nations was that she spoke on the Israel issue, right? On the October 7th issue, right? And she said, this isn't the Israelis' fault. When we tried to make peace, the Israelis always came to the table and the Palestinians would not. I was very shocked to hear her say that. That was very shocking. So I do think she gained some points in trying to prove to people that she's not a liberal. Um, is she a liberal in my opinion? I can't really say, and the reason why is I just see her as a political machine. A lot like Kamala Harris, right? Like a lot like Aaron Burr, right? Like there's no real stance at all there. It's whatever the moment requires, right? So have whatever I think she's like a political mirror. She's going to say what she thinks is going to help her the most then, right? And honestly, I will say I think this is the same thing with Trump. I don't think Trump is a Republican. I think he's a dyed-in-the-wool New York Democrat who figured out he could gain a lot more wealth and power by by posturing as a Republican. So I don't think Donald Trump's a Republican either. But I will say this: I don't think you could not even level this against DeSantis. DeSantis is a straight up Republican. I don't think there's any question of that. There's definitely a question on Nikki Haley, even with and the reason why there's still a question to me is I'm not sure I believe the word she said tonight or word DeSantis said tonight. Actually, no, I did believe the words DeSantis said, whereas it was hard for me to believe anything Nikki said. Whereas DeSantis, I do think he genuinely believes what he's saying. I think he's a terrible candidate because, like, I think an American president should be charismatic, confident, and intelligent, and he has zero charisma. And why is that important? Because you need charisma to do the job. You need to be able to talk to people, and I don't think DeSantis can. I think he's got zero riz. That guy is zero charisma, just terrible. All right. Let's talk a little bit about DeSantis. Uh, he had a great line, "Make America Florida." I like that. I love the term Florida man. What crazy thing did Florida man do? And so, being governor of Florida is pretty epic. Florida's a great state. I love Florida, and I love that line, "Make America Florida." Um, I liked when he said he would be willing to fight the teachers unions, and that he had fought the teachers unions. And I also liked that he said he was going to get rid of the Department of Education. Strong line. Um, and then strong lines from Haley. Um, she said she would take back land from a specific foreign nation that had bought land in America, and not allow any more purchases, which I thought was very interesting. You know what? I don't know if I don't know if that was. I was surprised she said that. I don't know if I agree with that, right? Because I haven't made up my mind on that, but I was surprised at the courage of it. I was surprised at the courage of it, and points for courage there because I think that's hard to say. The other thing is she said that law enforcement is demoralized, and I thought that was a powerful line. In fact, that was Nikki Haley's best line of the night, and and it's the one thing she said that I can 100% get on board with, right? That law enforcement is demoralized, and I do think we as Americans really need to start thinking about our police officers because they've been put in an abominable position, and we've really taken them very much for granted and put upon them things that should not have been put upon them. So I definitely agree. So she did say one thing that I totally agreed with. Last thing I was going to say is both of them talked about mental health, and I just felt so horribly offended when Ron DeSantis and Nikki Haley started talking about mental health. You know who talked about mental health? Vivek Ramaswamy. And these two, they never said anything of significance on mental health before, but now they had all these ideas and they wanted to talk about mental health. And the reason why is they can take all of Vivek's ideas and steal them, the way Ward people have always stolen. The way Native Americans sold Manhattan for beads. It's just like it's abominable. It's just like, and so the person of color just gets swept aside. Ward Cleaver and June Cleaver come up and just ward it up, ward power, and it's abominable. It just offended me so much that they stole his speaking point the moment they could when he wasn't there to defend himself. Rough, rough debate, an incredibly dark moment in American history. I want to thank you for letting me share my thoughts on this debate, and I want to just say thank you for your patience because I don't like to come to you in a low key down demeanor, but I am dedicated to making sure I'm an informed voter and doing the best I can to help this nation with my vote. And I honestly don't think you can be an informed voter without watching the debates. And the fact that, and let's add this in real quick. That sad sack, Donald Trump not showing up, President Donald Trump not showing up for these debates. What an outrageous act of cowardice. Outrageous cowardice. When he was 76, he could show up and show out, sweep the board of anybody on the debate floor. Now he can't even climb up the steps. He's done. I have a lot of thinking to do. I don't know where my vote's going to go. This is an incredibly dark night, and again, I apologize for not being more upbeat. And I do want to thank you for letting me share my opinion. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.